listening to Ambitious AF, a podcast that will help you level up, find positivity, and put yourself on top right now and every day for the rest of your life. I'm your host, Caroline Lewis, and each week I will bring you a guest or thought that will motivate you to get out of bed every morning with the willingness to succeed. Being ambitious means you are proud of who you are and everything you've accomplished. Only you can make that happen, though. But with the help of this podcast, you will rise to the top. You will find success. You will believe in yourself and manifest happiness. And most importantly, you will become ambitious AF. I know you are eager to begin, so let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast episode of Ambitious AF. I am your host, Caroline Lewis, and happy Thanksgiving. So I cannot believe that we are at the end of 2020. I mean, we have one more month left, which is insane. And here we are. We not only have to deal with everything going on in the world with the pandemic, we had an election. I mean, there's just so much going on. And now we add holidays on top of it. But, right, holidays are supposed to be special. They're supposed to be not that stressful. They're supposed to be relaxing and fun and time to unwind and, see family and friends, right? Maybe even though this year's a little bit weird, hopefully you're able to still see family and friends, but maybe it's seeing people that you haven't even seen all year, right? And maybe everyone's just waiting for, say, Thanksgiving or Christmas to all get together that one time this year. If you have been quarantining yourself, maybe not. Maybe it's still going to be a Zoom call, which is so sad, so crazy to think of. But a lot of us are doing that, right? Just because it's that type of year. It's a strange one for sure. So as we go into 2021, I cannot believe that we are 2021. Like, I started this podcast in 2020. This is episode 27. I've had interviews. I mean, but besides the podcast, right? I launched my business. It's just insane what you can do in a year, right? But you know what's even more insane? What you do for others in a year, right? Like, think of all of the stuff that you do for everyone else besides you, which is the topic of today's episode. Not running yourself to the ground, okay? It is the holiday season. We are in the midst of COVID still. It was an election year, is an election year, because I'm still talking in 2020, right? There's all kinds of stuff going on in the world, but we cannot forget ourselves. The whole point of this entire podcast, or all of the personal development books that you read, it all comes back to the one thing, which is taking better care of yourself and doing more stuff for you and not running yourself to the ground, especially now. So whether you have a business or you are employed, the end of the year, Q4, is a lot for finances, right? You're trying to hit all your goals. You're trying to start collecting information for taxes coming up in a couple of months. You're trying to end the year strong so you get a promotion or you get a new client or you launch a new course in your business or, right, you hit a specific yearly number that you wanted to hit in your business. Like, let's think back in the beginning of the year to all the goals that we set, which hopefully you did set a bunch of goals. How is that going for you, right? Like reassess before 2021 kicks in, reassess. And if you haven't hit specific goals, think back on why, right? Are you just making excuses throughout the year? Or, and I bet this is a lot of the time, are you doing too much for others? Are you not putting you and your needs first? And then because of that, you're overworking yourself, you're grinding yourself out. So you're not really able to not only commit the energy that you wanted to your own success, whatever that is, but you're not able to bring in the energy and attract the positive or the goals in this case because lack of self-worth, right? So lack of doing things for yourself makes you in the constant like catch-up mode, right? You're always behind. You're always playing catch-up, whether that's in your business, in your job, with your family, with your kids, doesn't really matter. But you're in this constant catch-up mode. And when you're in this constant catching up mode, you're in this stress that's crazy, right? Stress levels through the roof. And then you add holidays on top of it and the end of the year, and you think back on all of the missed opportunities in the beginning of the year, and you start freaking out even more. And then you go into 2021 not on the right foot that you want to start 2021 off in, right? Because you're grinding yourself to the ground. Because you're not taking a step back and saying, okay, yes, I could do X, Y, and Z for A, B, and C, but I need to make sure my priorities are first, right? And this goes for like if you're a mom, if you're a wife. I'm neither. And I feel like a lot of people are always like, oh, you're not married. You don't have kids. You don't understand. I do. I understand self-worth. I understand putting myself above others to create the life I want and less stress on myself, right? I understand that if I take care of myself, if I make myself happy first, I'm only better for the people around me, right? So that I can do more for them, right? And going back all the way to the beginning of the episodes, I forget what the episode's name or title was, but it was all about putting yourself first, right? And a lot of us get this like sense of guilt, selfishness, like, oh, I can't do that. Why would I do that? But listen, friends, like you are the only person that can dictate your life, how it goes for you, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And now we're at the end of the year and you're regretting all of those things that you couldn't accomplish because you're too busy focusing on everyone else and you're not busy enough focusing on yourself and what yourself wants. So in 2021, I hope, and also I hope by the end of this month too, I hope you make a promise to yourself. Number one, New Year's resolution or whatever you want to call it. Take more time for myself. Stop saying yes to everything that is shoved in my face, whether it's business or family or relationship, and start thinking of myself first before I make a decision and act in a way that I don't want to. Think of myself and how this will impact myself and my goals, right? How is this going to lay out my end result? December 31st, 2021. How is that going to work? If you don't focus on yourself, how are all of these goals that you want to accomplish, how are any of them going to get done, right? I'm not here to beat you up because I get it. Like life's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And I know you have kids running around and you have a husband and maybe you don't have a husband, you're a single mom, or maybe you have a crazy boss, or maybe you're trying to get a promotion or launch a business or launch a course or make $1 million in your business. I mean, it's like, right? There's so many things you can do and are doing. But I promise you, you're not going to get any of the results that you actually want until you stop grinding away and start focusing on yourself more, on your needs more. Okay, so what does that look like? Well, that looks like this. If you wake up in the morning, what are your needs first thing in the morning? Going to the bathroom, probably. Brushing your teeth, I hope so. Taking a shower, drinking lemon water or coffee or tea or whatever you drink in the morning. Some downtime maybe before the kids get up or before you have to make lunches or before the hubby goes off to work or before you go off to work. I mean, have you ever thought of a little bit of downtime before all that? Kind of center in, focus on your energy. Think of how the day's going to go. Visualize how you want the day to go, right? And then you're working. Whether you own your business or not, you're working. And you're doing all these things. Do you ever stop and do something for yourself? And maybe working, right? You're making money for yourself. So in a way, that's doing something for you. But you can't make more money unless you focus on your mental, physical self and perfecting that, right? So you're going throughout your day. So start thinking of things that you could do more for you throughout your day. Is that more breaks? Is that going out for lunch a little bit more often? Maybe not every day, but maybe twice a week. Is that taking a 30-minute break and calling a friend, catching up? Or listening to a podcast episode? Or is that reading a book for a bit? Right? I mean, heck, some of us entrepreneurs take a bath in the middle of the day. Why not? Right? No judge. This is focusing on us and what we want to do, remember? So then you finish work. Whether you work from home or you're in an office or you're entrepreneur, so you can work wherever, anywhere, but you're finished, right? What time is that finish? Are you a dead stop time, like 5, 6, 7? Or you just keep going until you finish a project, you skipped dinner, you don't take the time to distress before you go to bed, your brain's all over the place, you don't take time to read or brush your teeth or get ready for bed or detox or I already said de-stress, but just calm yourself down a bit, right? So then you're going to have the same results the next day. Crazy, right? You're just going to be on rapid fire. And then you're on rapid fire throughout the whole entire year. And then you wonder why you can't get anything done, right? Or you wonder why you didn't check all the things that you wanted to off your goal list. Or heck, maybe you could only get through one personal goal. We can't do that anymore, right? We got to think of ourselves as number one priority always. Because if you don't, then you actually aren't giving your all to your kids, your spouse, your job, your boss, your employees, your clients, your coworkers. You're not giving it your all. You're just running yourself to the ground. And there's a difference between giving it your all and running yourself to the ground, right? When you give it your all, you're energetically enhancing that so that you're receiving more of what you're giving, right? You're getting that back. When you're burnt out, you're actually negatively bringing in that energy, in which case only telling the universe and everything around you to give that more back in your life. And then that's where the burnout comes and the tiredness and the depression and the negativity, and then nothing gets checked off at the end of the year on your goal sheets, right? So I encourage you, as you look at 2020 and, keep COVID and all that kind of stuff out of it, because once again, we're only focusing on ourselves. Once again, we can only control 100% of ourselves. We can't control anything that's going on in the outside world. So as you go and you reflect, right, because we have this month of December, as we're wrapping up November, month of December to reflect. And maybe you did some reflection over Thanksgiving. Maybe you took some time to think about what you're grateful for, which is great, right? But as you're reflecting on 2020, if your answer is, I could have improved because I could have taken more care of myself, then that's probably the case on a lot of years, right? So 2021, I think in that case, number one commitment is to you, is to yourself. You make a little wolf pack bond to yourself right now that you're going to commit more time to you and your needs. You're going to put yourself above others, and you're going to do things that make you more happy than wasting your time doing things constantly for everyone else in your life. And if you do that, I bet you're going to come back next year, right around this time, and you're going to be crossing off all of those goals that you wanted to accomplish this year, because it's just absolutely amazing when you fixate your determination on you get so much back in return. And in fact, because of this, you're able to give more back in return. So then doing those favors or doing that extra assignment or doing what have you, you're able to better control it, right? You're better at controlling the commitment to it so that it aligns and feels good to you, so that you have a better outcome anyways, and you're only going to attract more of that goodness back into your life, not the burnout, bad negativity, right? I hope this all is starting to make sense. So as we reflect, I want you all to really think about why. Why have you not hit all those goals that you wanted to this year? How often, how much time are you spending on others? How much time have you spent on yourself this year in 2020 versus spending time on everyone else? And if you answer not that much time on myself, then you are grinding away, my friend. You are grinding away. You're probably burnt out. You're frustrated. You have headaches. You can't sleep. You're not waking up energetic and enthusiastic, right? I just had a call today, and one of the guys I was talking to, more of a mentor of mine, and he was talking about, I was over and we had this retreat in California, and Caroline got up every day and she was just like, woo, ready to rock. And it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And he was going on at like, how do you maintain that energy and blah, blah, blah. And it's, and then, as you start watching me throughout the day, I do things for me first and then for everyone else later, right? So when I need to go to the bathroom, I don't really think, oh, he's presenting, I shouldn't interrupt. No. If I have to go to the bathroom, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm just going to do it politely and quietly. If I want to take a mid-break and go for a run, clear out my mind, right? I can do that. Now, I couldn't do that when I was in my 9 to 5, which is why I quit, but I can do that, right? That's a mental check for me, okay? If I need to go listen to a podcast or read a book or just de-stress in any way, I'm just going to go do it. I don't second guess myself. And if someone invites me somewhere or wants me to do something and I really don't want to do it, guess what? I say no. I politely say, no, that's fine. I'll pass. You either go by yourself or take a rain check. Maybe we'll come back another time, okay? And a lot of people tend to call me unsocial, but it's not unsocial because trust me, I'll socialize when there's time to socialize. It's focusing on myself and my needs at that time first, right? So that means that I'm not always like this. When I am giving myself a break, I will call or hang out or go do X, Y, and Z. But when I'm in my little zone and I'm in the work or relaxing on my own time and I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it because I don't want to be unsocial or because I'm being selfish. I'm doing it because I'm taking care of myself, which they should always thank me, right? Because I have better outcomes for them, whether that's clients, employees, mentors, or family, friends, right? It doesn't really matter. I have better outcomes for them. So that means that their expectations of me are obviously higher because I can produce better outcomes. So kind of think of it like that, right? If you're burnt out and grinding yourself to the ground because you're constantly doing so much for everyone else, you're not giving it to them the amount of energy that you really want to give to them. And then it's only going to hurt yourself and them. So it's literally no one's winning. They might be winning at the time, but I guarantee if you put the energy in you first and were like at your peak when performing for them, and when I say performing, I mean going out to dinner, picking up the nursery, going grocery shopping, writing, working on your website, whatever that is, you're going to be able to do it 10 times better. So you're going to have a bigger outcome if you do focus on yourself first, right? And you're in that constant state of what do I want versus what do they need? And you always think of what do I want first. So anyways, some reflection. Of course, we have more episodes before the end of 2020 that I want to get through because a lot of 2020, right, it was a lot. So it was a lot of personal development that's needed on everyone's cases because we've all been through a lot of crazy, hectic crap so far. So we need these boost me up talks, right? We need these pep talks. We need this motivation. We need the personal development books or podcasts or whatever you do to absorb all of that in. And we need to work on ourselves this year more than any other year. But a lot of us didn't because we got so wrapped up with everything going on around us. We didn't actually take the time for us, ourselves, me, you. You didn't take the time for you that you really needed. And that is why you're not able to get the results that you wanted to at the end of the year. So as we reflect this month, coming into December, it's not December yet, but we're coming into December, we reflect and then we go into 2021. Start it strong. Everyone always says that, but seriously, start it strong. Start it strong by committing to yourself first. All right, everyone. I hope you liked this episode. I hope it was a bit inspirational. I'm back for more before this year's over. So, as always, I'd love you to share or drop a comment or just let me know why you like listening. And thanks so much for following. And I hope I lifted you up a little bit more and a little bit extra oomph that you needed. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you all soon. See ya.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you got some value or just feel fired up, I would love for you to take a screenshot and tag me in your Instagram stories. It's always so motivating to see you getting the inspiration you needed to level up for my podcast. I'm going to keep showing up and bringing my best self to these episodes, and I encourage you to do the same. If you think a friend or family member would enjoy this episode, I would love for you to share the ambition. I can't wait to chat next week, but until then, keep being ambitious AF.